Peace and blessings, family. This is Brother Ajay Taimba of Harlem Liberation School, where we teach black people how to wake up, clean up, and stand up. And on this edition of Leadership Lessons with Ajay, we're going to be talking about a very important distinction that it's important that leaders make. And the distinction is the difference between preferences versus prerequisites. As a quick reminder, these Leadership Lessons with Ajay are really quick snippets. And if you want more clarity, then I suggest that you go and purchase my book, Leadership, Philosophy, Ethics, and Practice, sold at Amazon and wherever books are sold. Now, what I wanted to do for this particular leadership lesson, family, is read directly from my book. One misconception we cannot continue to make is confusing preferences with prerequisites. A preference is a choice guided by one's taste or judgment. People have a preference for one color, TV show, cuisine, clothing brand, or musical genre over others. Preferences represent people's individuality and right to like or choose whatever they want. A prerequisite, however, refers to something you must have or do in order to achieve or do something else. For example, a driver's license is a prerequisite to legally driving a vehicle in the United States. In certain black political circles, we look favorably upon people with African names, Afrocentric hairstyles, jewelry, or clothing, or those who can speak an African language, like Swahili, for example. All of these practices represent personal preferences. While these preferences are politically or culturally relevant, not one of them is necessary. These are ideals of behavior we uphold for ideological, cultural, or political reasons, which is fine. Technically, though, ethical and dedicated black people have advanced our race for centuries, who have had relaxed hair, European or white names, European clothing, and who did not speak any indigenous African language. We can attach meaning to these things if we choose to, but they should never become criteria for determining another brother or sister's consciousness or seriousness in the Black Liberation Movement. A person's hairstyle, their clothing, having an African name, speaking an African language, practicing a particular religion, being vegan or vegetarian. These are personal choices. Our failure to understand this point manifests in disturbing scenarios. This will make us vulnerable to evaluating people superficially and to being infiltrated by people who look, speak, or dress the part. We are likely to dismiss conscious, competent, and committed community members whose fashion, language, hairstyle, or name does not meet our criteria. As a much younger man, I made the mistake of confusing preferences with prerequisites. My naivete in this matter led me to sometimes misjudge good, solid people. Our criteria for being trustworthy, competent, and committed should only be determined by one's character, thinking, and work for and with our community. I implore you to exercise wisdom rather than naivete. Assess people fairly and not based on frivolous or superficial means. Accept and value community members for who they are, not for how they look, how they dress, or how they wear their hair.